This is episode 23 and 24 review of Kimetsu no Yaiba. This is going to be a quick one. So, yeah, chapter 23 had quite a cliffhanger. 22 had a quite a cliffhanger, and then we get the conclusion in 23. And Nezuko actually, she decides to be the bigger person and just turns her turns her head in disgust, which I found quite funny. And it was like, like, yeah, I'm better than this. Don't do this to me. But yeah, the Wind Hashira was definitely pushing his buttons, and I wouldn't mind if Nesco attacked him, to be honest. But that would have complicated the situation a bit more. So yeah, with that, we kind of just get a bit more dialogue and about changes in the future, about recruiting more people into the Demon Slayer Corp, and the overall quality of Demon Slayers are being quite low. And that's the kind of meeting they were discussing in the Hashira meeting. And there's still a shroud of mystery over who the master is. And Tanjiro says he feels some kind of, he feels enlightened around him and stuff like that. So maybe he has a different aura. And then I knew there was something different about him and weird because he knows that I forgot her name, but he mentions that say hi to the demon lady that we met in chapter 6, or roughly around that time. And he's got the assistant. I forgot who she was, but the fact that he knows about them, just kind of says something fishy about him, the master. And this just adds a bit more layer of mystery about him, to be honest. Yeah, then that's literally what chapter 23 is mostly about anyway. And then we go into chapter 24, and this is a bit of a training arc, to be honest. So we got Shinobu's mansion, and we got her, what do you call it? Her assistant, who also graduated at the same time as Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu, and she was the yeah, she was there. But the difference in ability is actually so different, despite the fact that they both graduated at the same time. Not all of them graduate at the same time. Just goes to show how much more talent and skill she has. And especially the training was quite funny, actually. Especially Zenitsu's reaction, because due to his condition, he started training a lot later than them lot. And then once he finds out what they've been doing at training, he loves it. He loves it. He loves the training because obviously, Zenitsu is a bit of a ladies' boy. Wait, is that the word? Ladies' boy? Uh, Um, ladies' man? Yeah, ladies' man. All right. So yeah, a bit of a ladies' man. He loved the training, but I was kind of disappointed in Inosuke's character, um, because after the fact that they couldn't beat uh I forgot she was her name, but Shinobu's apprentice. Like none of them could beat her after so many attempts. Um, Inosuke and Zenitsu actually give up on training and stop coming. It's only Tanjiro who's constantly training, and I thought this was kind of weird from my perspective in Inosuke's character development, because if we go back a few episodes when he was fighting the father demon, he was complaining about how weak he was and he wants to get stronger, stuff like that. And he was on the brink of death. So I thought he would have this massive resolve to train really hard and keep on working on his craft. But it just shows how weak his resolve is if he's going to give up after losing like several times. So, I'm kind of disappointed in Inosuke's resolve, to be honest, in that situation. And obviously Tanjiro being who he is, he's always trying, and he seems to have a lot of tenacity. And then we will learn how truly the big of a gap their strength is, and we learn something called so the breathing technique they've been using. Apparently, the Hashira and even the apprentice can use it 24/7. They've mastered it, so that's kind of why they're what do you call it? They're on a different level. But this apprentice, the fact that she's mastered as well, shows that she's closer to the Hashira's level than she is to Tanjiro's level. So that is quite interesting. And then we're even shown a physical representation of the power difference, in the fact that the kids actually give Tanjiro a gourd that he has to blow up. like blow up with his but just by breathing into it, just to show the strength of the lungs and his breathing technique ability. And then after that we get shown a really big gourd that apparently the apprentice can actually destroy with her breath. So that was a quite good visual cue. Really sets really sets the, what do you call it, sets the tone of the difference in power. So yeah, that was pretty amazing. So yeah, and with that, we see Tanjiro start learning and practicing his breathing, and we get this conversation with him and Shinobu on top of the, what do you call it, mansion, and it's at nighttime, and the way that we get a bit of her backstory as well, with her sister dying to demons, and the usual, oh, I can't trust another demon. But then she says something like, oh, I'm entrusting my dreams onto you. And whenever a character entrusts a dream onto the main character, that character doesn't really last that much longer. It's just red flags for me. So I feel like Shinobu might meet her end. It's probably going to meet her end at one of the upper five, or Mizan himself in it, MJ, as I like to say, because I feel like the Hashira and the upper five are probably on the more same playing field compared to the lowest. What am I saying? Five, the lowest six and upper five. Yeah. So yeah, she's definitely gonna meet her end very soon. But yeah, this is chapter 20. This is episode 24 as well now. So we've probably only got one more episode until the end of season one. But yeah, and I'll be doing a whole video on my review of Kimetsu no Yaiba season one, and there's got to be a season two, because of the huge success of the show. And yeah, the reception was very widely acclaimed, and apparently it was even trending on Twitter at one point. And I'm guessing that's when a lot of the hype started to snowball in. And as a person who's enjoyed it since episode one, I've got to say I do love the I do love the hype that it's getting now. So yeah, I'm excited to see what the final chapter is, but it's probably going to be a boring one. But yeah, that's it. Bye bye.